Goldylocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and new age genre.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hello, and welcome to the Magical Journey Show with your host, Reverend Bryan Rawls here. And thank you all for joining me this evening. It is January 16th of 2019, and we have the moon just went into Gemini, and we are actually getting ready to come upon the super blood full total lunar eclipse on Sunday into Monday, I believe. So energies are ramping up, and a lot of things are really in a they're really in a quickened type mode. And what I mean by a quickened type mode is they're very much fast paced, and they are really it's taking a lot to sustain ourselves in the physical, and especially being grounded, as well as also staying centered in our space, especially with these upgrades coming in from the Book of Nasira, anchoring in to our physical reality. We are also anchoring in new energies for the ascension process. Hello, Yvonne, how are you? And much love to you as well. So the new energies that we are anchoring in, Angelic, for the ascension process is very intense and very potent at the moment. It's taking a lot out of each and every one of us, especially around keeping us here on Mother Earth, because a lot of us, we all want to float around and float up to into the cosmic energies, and we really are trying our hardest to stay down, basically stay down here into the physical and deal with the mundane, because a lot of us, we still have to do our mundane dealings and whatnot, and I'm finding it especially hard to be centered and be grounded, and not experience intense upgrades within the or intense upgrades coming into the crown chakra, and into the fourth eye. So lots of different energies are spiraling in and changing our frequency in many different ways. And obviously you can see that one of the ways that I'm actually here grounding myself is actually staying or actually wrapping my head up, or wrapping the crown chakra up, to actually stay physically planted here. A lot of the energies are also making others experiencing pain in the body, discomfort, and a lot of compression on the joints. And when certain frequencies begin to get too high for some folks, and really in that intense part of feeling it deep inside our body, we have to try physical things to keep us planted here. And one of the ways that I find very supportive in keeping me planted here is wrapping my head up, and also trying to stay physically, or trying to keep my feet physically planted in the ground, or physically upon Mother Earth. So going outside multiple times a day, and also actually just stopping and breathing, and really really just being in the moment is what I've been having to find myself do. And it's really helped me, and I know it will really help y'all. And also make sure that you drink your water, because water will allow for the energy to flow much more quickly and much more with ease and grace. So also, a lot of folks that are healers and energy workers and body workers, I know they're trying to sustain their energy to do their work during the day, such as like massages and Reiki sessions and cranial sacral therapies, and other healing energy healing modalities. I've actually experienced it being pretty difficult doing readings, and me only being able to sustain myself in a person's energy field for up to 30 to 45 minutes at a time. So, so I can definitely say it's if it's hard for me, I definitely know it's pretty difficult for all of y'all as well, and it can be with the most experienced body worker, and with the beginning body workers. So I do do want to remind everybody, make sure that you stay grounded during this time, and that you try to really just be present. Be present here, because the new ascension energies of 2019, the anchoring in of the Book of Nasira, and the upgrades, downloads, and light codes coming in through the fourth eye chakra is is very intense, and we are actually at the well, it's the 16th, and we are getting ready to go into so the third was the root chakra, the sixth was the sacral, the ninth was the solar, the 12th was the heart, the 15th was the throat, and the 18th will be the third eye. So we're getting ready to go into the third eye third eye anchoring on the 18th, which is on Friday. So so for folks that are needing to make sure that, especially us visionary folks, on Friday, when we are beginning to start with the anchoring in of Nasira into our third eye, we really need to be very aware of the visions that we have, our dreamscapes, and also many different things that we see out in our physical reality, as well as also if you are one of those folks that have trouble remembering your dreams. One of the exercise that I do to make sure that I remember my dreams is making sure that my well of dreams is filled up all the way up to the top. And what I mean by your well of dreams is, you want to think of well of dreams as like a physical water well. And if it's full, or if it's filled up, it means that, or filled up with light, it means that your dreams can actually trickle up your brainstem and actually shine into the pineal gland, which the dreamscapes and the visuals will actually come to the ajna lens and reflect back what you're actually experiencing, what you're actually seeing in your dreamscapes, and allow for you to recall your dreams better. So make sure that your well of dreams is filled up with light. And your well of dreams is just back here, right underneath here, if you can see where my fingers are. And what I mean by filled up with light is just bring light into that area. And And that is a technique that I've been, that Nasira taught me just here recently, because I was like, hey, Nasira, how can I start remembering my dreams? Because that's one thing that is really difficult for me to do, is remember my dreams. And continuously, I would be waking up in the middle of the night being like, I know I just dreamt. What the heck am I dreaming about? And uh, and I think it was probably about the third or fourth day that that Nasira was actually present here on Mother Earth. So probably about 24th, 25th, maybe 26th of December, and actually I was like, so Nasira, how can I do that? And she said, make sure that the well of dreams is filled up with light. And so I would be like, so how can I do that? She says, just command it in, and bring it in, or make sure that it's filled up. And I was like, okay, so make it filled up with light. So, and remember, it's where the dreams can actually trickle up the brainstem and into the pineal gland, so that the pineal gland can reflect back the visual of your dreamscapes and help you recall them, so that they will shine into the ajna lens, and so that the pineal gland can reflect back against the ajna lens to bring the visual experience out in a more um, in a more better or a more appropriate way that we can experience our dreams and see our dreams more more fluidly and more clearly and with clarity. Okay, so fill your fill your well of dreams up with light. So just command that in when you go to bed at night. And as very simple as Mother and Father God, I command for my well of dreams chakra or area to be filled with light. And you just visually see like the well of dreams filling up with light. And it will be very fluidly, very almost like a very fluid type substance, almost like how your or how aura readers see the aura being very fluid. So filling it up with light, allowing for it to be able to send our dreams up through our brain stem. Okay, so definitely try it out. It's very interesting, and it works for me. But do know that what works for one person may not work for another. So we are going to be going to the phone lines here very soon, and I do want to make sure that I leave enough ample amount of time to get to everybody. Also, if you have questions, I will be going back and forth from live comments to the telephone lines, and I will go start with the telephone callers first, and then we'll go to the live comments, and then we'll keep going back and forth like that to see if I can't tend to everybody. So, so we are going to also start with that probably at the at quarter of the hour. Well, or yeah, quarter of the hour. So I have probably about 2 more minutes of talking, and then we'll go to the phone lines. So I do want to let everyone know that there are new prices on for readings. They actually lowered down a bit for 30-minute readings. It is priced at $2 a minute, and that would be 60 minutes, or for 30 minutes it's $60. For 45 minutes it's 90, I believe, and for yeah 45 minutes is like $90, and then for an hour it's $120. or just check out www.amagicaljourney.com. I wanted to lower down the prices so that everybody would be able to get a chance to purchase a reading for everyone, and also be able to afford it, because I do know that a lot of folks are struggling with finances at this particular time, with the new tax laws coming into play, and also with this horrible government shutdown. I'm so tired of hearing about it, but obviously it's reality, people, and we just have to deal with it. But also, it's there for you to utilize that service of intuitive readings, and remember that intuitive readings are for questions pertaining to love and relationships, money and career, and or money, career, and finances, beliefs and values, and spirituality and psychic abilities, and also mediumship. I will answer questions about mediumship and intuitive readings, so take advantage of that. And also, the specialty readings have stayed the same. And also, I do have a coupon code going around for anybody that purchases a reading with me, especially intuitive readings, that leaves me a testimonial after the fact of the reading, and sends it to my email address. I will reply back with a coupon code of a 10% off code for your next reading. And that is only good for intuitive readings. So it's no good for any other service except for intuitive readings. So take advantage of that. If you had an intuitive reading with me before and you would like to send in a testimonial, you're more than welcome. Remember, that is only for intuitive readings. The coupon code will only work for intuitive readings, will not work for any other services. Okay, so we are going to go to our phone lines, and our first phone caller. Also, if you are on the comments and would like to call in to ask your question, you're more than welcome to. The area code is 323-870-3791. Again, that is 323-870-3791. And we are going to go to our first phone caller. And our first phone caller is area code 865. 865. First name and question, please.
Hi, Reverend Bryan.
Hello.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're very welcome.
This is Lynn.
Hey, Lynn.
Hi, this is Lynn. And you're talking about dreams. The last few days, I've been having dreams. I've been seeing a man, a person that was present, but I really didn't recognize them, and didn't recognize the face or anything. Also, I'm dreaming about my grandmother, whom I have not dreamed about in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to find out, if you see or feel anything concerning love relationships.
Okay, so now in regards to this dream about this male figure, but you're not being able to see his face. Now, what I'm picking up here is that that your dreamscapes are trying to relay a picture back to you, but it seems as if you are blocking the actual physical appearance of the person, and it's due to out of what basically it's due to out of what the ego wants in a relationship. Okay, so so what I would recommend you doing here is basically dropping down into your heart chakra and asking yourself before you go to bed, because you will dream about this again. Okay, you will dream about this again. and asking for your spiritual, asking for your spiritual self to step in and show you the appearance of this upcoming relationship in regards to what his appearance would look like. I will tell you that what they are showing me is dark hair and basically like a light brown to a almost to like a honey type color eye. Okay, I can't say dark eyes because the eyes are not dark. It's kind of like a you know how like a stained tabletop would look. It's a
Oh, kind of hazel.
yeah, kind of like a hazelish color, and not really dark and not really light brown, but the mixture of the two, kind of like a honey color, and and really, he's well. What I'm seeing here is that this particular person is has a little bit of a broad shoulder to him, and he stands about medium height, and his hair is closely cut to his head, but there is a little bit of length on the top, almost like maybe he maybe it shows like a previous military cut, but maybe he has grown his hair out on the top of his head. So do know that there is a timeline of when you're going to meet this particular person. I can give you a timeline, but let's see. And how I get my timelines is by 1 or 2 dice. So let me ask for a timeline. All right, a timeline of. Okay, so what they're showing is the 5th month of the year. So the 5th month of the year would be in May. Okay, so with this particular energy being in May, it's when things are back in growth. It's when relationships are back in growth, and also is when your experience of self is more vibrant. Okay, because it seems as if your mood and your and the way that you or your and your demeanor about yourself is more more uplifted and more empowered during the summer months or the beginning of the summer months. So I would say around the 5th month, and I would say probably right at about the 2nd or 3rd week in May. So you do have a little bit of time before then, and it feels to me like you're going to be working a lot on the self and a lot with the heart chakra to bring this particular energy in for a very balanced love relationship, because it seems as if you've been working a lot with your heart chakra here lately, especially with empowering yourself and empowering your confidence and basically empowerment altogether. So you are definitely in for a treat in the month of May. So continue on that path of empowerment and understand that that a relationship is right around the corner, and just ask for your guides to show you this appearance once more, because once you ask, they will be in a receptive or they will give a receptive response to your asking. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much, Bryan.
You are very welcome, and thank you for calling in.
Blessings.
Blessings to you, dear. Okay, so so do remember when that we have a lot of control over our dreams, people. So if we are having trouble with our dreamscapes and we are not seeing the full picture, it is basically because sometimes when we are in that moment between waking and, well, in that moment of waking up and becoming fully awake, it is it's our ego, or our ego stepping in and trying to get us to remember. Okay, so what you need to do is you don't need to force yourself to remember, because forcing yourself will basically just push the image back further. All right, it will push the image farther away from you and make the image kind of blurry. So you would want to ask yourself to, or basically ask yourself to really just calmly wake up and start your day very slowly. And this would be basically before you plant your feet on the ground. You would want to basically get your eyes open, get your eyes focused before you plant your feet on the ground, because once you plant your feet on the ground, you become grounded automatically, and that's when we have the most, or that's when it is a very crucial time of when we lose a lot of our recall of dreams, is when we first plant our feet on the ground. It's when we are trying to place our feet firmly planted. All right, so try to regain your focus while you're still laying down, and then try to recall your dreams while you're laying down, and don't force yourself to recall your dreams, but just lay there and say, I know I had a dream. What is it about? And then just lay there in a quiet meditation and allow for it to come to you. Don't sit up abruptly and be like, I need to write it down so quickly, and because you'll forget it just like that. Okay? And and folks, if you are not remembering your dreams, I said this before in the beginning of the show, ask for your well of dreams to be filled with light, so that your dreams can trickle up your spinal cord, or up your brain stem, up into the pineal gland, so that your dreamscapes can reflect to your ajna lens, or your dreamscapes can reflect from your pineal gland to your ajna lens, and actually visually show you the experience of your dreams. Okay, so we are going to go to the live comments, and I'm going to see if I can't find the first question of the day, or of the evening. Okay, so the first question of the evening was, okay, so the first question of the evening is Yvonne Tabarachi, and it is there any guidance regarding my next step in my successful love and service work, a successful business? Okay, so let's see here. All right, Yvonne, so let's see. All right, successful service work and business for Yvonne Tabarachi. Okay, so it feels to me like you've really stepped into a renewed passion for energy work, period. And so it seems as if something has occurred for you, or something has happened to where you are really regained a trust and a confidence about your healing work, that this could be something got confirmed for you, something got something was or experience happened where a revelation was revealed to you, or something along the lines that was allowed for you to regain a new sense of awareness about yourself, or a new sense of awareness about your passion as a healer. And what they show me is that you really need to trust this confirmation, trust this experience of this revelation, because this is to re-spark your enthusiasm about healing work, because it kind of feels to me like you were it was kind of feeling like you were just existing back in the ending part of 2018, and really confused about how your path was going to turn out, or going to continue to move forward. It was almost like a confusion swept over you. So what they show here is that this renewed sense of self, or this renewed sense of experience, that you became more aware of your divine self, and more of your realization of what healing work, or what intuitive work does for you. It's almost like it reignites your inner flame and your inner wisdom. So I would most definitely say that the message here is that you really need to trust this new outlook that you have upon your business, upon your work as a healer, because it was really to reignite that passion, reignite that trust, because it was almost like you were within an energy of self-doubt, and it's really not about doubting yourself anymore. It's about trust, and that's really what the Book of Nasir is all about now, is about trust, and allowing that trust is really what we need to start doing with ourselves, because whatever normally a lot of people tend to doubt themselves, or tend to doubt the things that pop into their mind, and says this is just my imagination, or this has nothing to do with what my current situation is. If you dig deep enough, and if you look at the situation in a much more broader sense, you will actually see where the first thing that pops into your mind is definitely in accordance to what it is that you're inquiring about, or what it is that you're wondering about. So definitely take it into consideration of trusting yourself. You only live once, and why would you live a life of doubt constantly? Because doubt is the number one killer of psychic abilities. It really digs them a deep hole and buries them back into the depths of your soul. Okay, so we are going to go back to the phone lines, and the next phone caller is area code 661. Area code 661.
Hi, Bryan. This is Susan.
Hey, Susan, how are you?
Question. Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good.
My question is, Jesus keeps coming in for me, and it's such a beautiful energy. And then I'm reading this book, Jesus and the Essenes by Dolores Cannon, and I'm not quite sure if it's the hypnotism I'm so attracted to, or if it's the Essenes, or if Jesus just wants me to learn about his early times. And I just wondered if you could have a reading on that for me. Thank you.
Okay, so now this is very interesting because I actually have been in contact. Well, I've actually been in contact with a Essene elder from the Order of the Blue Rose. Okay, so it's very interesting that and this is an elder that I've been in contact energetically with. Okay, and it's in accordance with my one of my past lives and one of my other clients' past lives. So what Sonata, or what Jesus is trying to basically show you here is that that if you look far enough back in time, and at the time of what Christians call creation, okay, the creation myth. All right, we will see where the birth of Jesus Christ is when he was within his time of the Essenes. Okay, so the Essenes is actually a Jewish sect. Okay, and the Essenes is actually a very it's really not one of those fire and brimstone type religions. Okay, and it's really supported around the energy of love and divine will, and allowing for our trust and awareness, and coming into our heart space to really find that inner wisdom and what it is that we are really all about energetically. Okay, the Essenes are also a lot of folks will not admit this in a lot of their work about the Essenes, is that the Essenes are really the first set of healers that ever walked Mother Earth. The first religious part of healers that walked the earth within Jesus's times. Okay, because there's been many different types of healers in eons and eons before the life of Jesus Christ, but you have to realize that a lot of the energy behind the Essenes is really about the energy of love and divine will, and really understanding for what it's really worth that our lives and our understanding of the life of Jesus Christ, it was all about coming into the awareness that healing is available to all of us. Okay. Also, the elder of the Order of the Blue Rose spoke to me and told me that that Jesus himself was a very powerful manifester and a healer. Okay, so understand that he himself practiced the healing energy that still is lost in are lost in our records of the Bible. And you need the lost books of the Bible to explain the whole understanding of the Jewish sect of the Essenes. Okay, so I would try to get your hands on the lost books of the Bible, and I know it's probably going to be very, very hard to do that. And a lot of people say that the lost books of the Bible are in other religious texts, such as the Torah. My personal belief is you really need to pick up a pen and really channel automatic writing sonata or the ascended master Jesus to really get his perception of what a scene life is really about. Okay, and also this I wish I could tell you this this divine elder of the Blue Order of the or the Order of the Blue Rose as name, but I was sworn in secrecy not to divulge that name until me and my client had our session together. So so I am not able to actually divulge that information just yet, but I would highly recommend, if you want to further further find out information about the Essenes and to possibly channel more of what is intriguing you about the Essenes, is you may want to look into a intuitive reading with me, dear. So you can check out www.amagicaljourney.com and check out one of my intuitive readings, and we can further make this into our or basically further give you more information about this. Okay, but but definitely it is it's more about the Essenes, which is intriguing you because you've had a lifetime as an Essene. Okay.
Yes, I was feeling that. And I know Anna went there for training and Mary went there for training. And I was feeling that I was in that era. And so
yes, and also you can ask to be transported in your sleep time to the Mount of Carmel, and you will receive an energetic download of information about the Essenes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, great. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you, Bryan.
You're very welcome, dear. Much love.
Okay, much love. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so folks, we are going to go to the live comments and answer another question out of the live comments and see exactly who would be the next person. Let's see here. All right. So the next person that I see here is okay. So Miss Hassan Devra. So I'm just going to answer this question real quick for you, Devra, and or Deborah, or yeah, Devra. Yeah, I know how to pronounce your name, and it just keeps on slipping my mind if it's pronounced that in that particular way, but I will say, Miss Hassan, I will tell you that Jolie and I are in constant communication, and I do feel as if Jolie will be experiencing the energy of love and the energy of a relationship within the near future. And let me see if I can get a timeline on this. Okay, so what they are showing here is a timeline of the next, okay, so within the next 3 to 6 months is when energy of the experience of love and the experience of a relationship. Now, the experience of a soulmate, I will tell you that there are many different types of soulmate, or many different types of soulmates. But only one twin flame. So when you ask in the particular parentheses of soulmate, I will tell you that you will get many different answers. So that is the reason why I asked it a bit differently. She will experience love in the next 3 to 6 months, and she will experience this in a relationship in the next 3 to 6 months. So she needs to understand that not to be afraid to ask this question energetically in different ways, because what she is doing is she is limiting herself by some of her limiting beliefs of, and yes, Jolie, I see you listening, and I see you, I feel you listening, and you're limiting yourself, sweetie. You are actually pushing it further away from you due to the belief systems that you are holding on to around not necessarily huffing and puffing about it, but more like, when is it going to happen? Or is it ever going to happen? That type of attitude about it, okay? And I don't mean to say that in any rude remark or rude way. When I say that in a very loving way to allow for you to experience it, or experience how you approach the situation in a much more positive or a positive attitude. Okay, so try to approach the situation of a relationship and love in a different attitude of already feeling as if it is here with you now, or already feeling as if you are working towards that. Don't say, when is this going to happen, or why hasn't it happened to me just yet, or what is it going, or ask yourself, what is it going to take for me to meet my soulmate, and put it in a question, asking yourself, what is it going to take? Okay, because that will allow for you to answer in answer in a more positive way. It's almost like what Linnell say, shift the way that you, or shift your filter, or learn how to speak this from a loving standpoint, instead of a negative standpoint of, when's this going to happen, or why hasn't this happened, or am I going to be the last person on earth that meets their soulmate when the sun decides to burn us all to crisp, or the earth decides to blow up? Don't speak of it like that. Speak of it in a more focused way, okay, or in a more positive way, okay. But 3 to 6 months is when I see you approaching the energy of a relationship, okay. So I am going to briefly answer the next phone caller, and next phone caller, I will ask if you can try to ask one question and try to boil it down to a very simple question. And I will answer it as quickly as I possibly can. But area code 347, first name and question.
Hi, Bryan. First name is Tanika. Nice to speak to you. My question is about me and someone named Frank. We are still sort of seeing each other. So I just wanted to get some insight into our relationship, what you see for us in the near future.
Okay.
How you feel.
Tamika and Frank. So take some deep breaths in. Okay. So what they are showing here is that there is energy here that shows me you in the best or in the nicest way I possibly can put it to you is that you need to rethink Frank. Okay, you need to rethink how or you need to rethink what his demeanor is showing you. Okay, his demeanor is showing you that he's hot 1 minute, cold the next, hot 1 minute, cold the next, and he's shifty. Okay, and calling it shifty is because he's unsure of himself. Okay, and when a person is unsure of himself, he's always going to be unsure of himself until he's comfortable in and around a person that he's compatible with. Okay, I will tell you that as of right now, you do not need to hold back any truth of who you are as a person. Don't be afraid to don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to or don't hold back any of the true you, because what you're going to do is you're going to show him the true you, and if he cannot handle the true you, you're going to see him kind of walk away, and that's okay, because in the next 2 to 3 months you will start seeing where exactly he is more focused about this and more understanding about this, to know that he's going to show you more of what more of where he's what his intentions are, and he is going to I will tell you this very flat out and frankly to you. I don't see this relationship being permanent. I don't see this relationship being going in anywhere as in long term. Okay, because he seems as if he's very unsure and very much not into himself appropriately at the moment. Okay, but I will tell you, in the next 2 months, you're gonna see him and his true colors. Okay, and as you see more of his true colors, now that's whether you take this into consideration or not. The prediction that I just gave you, whether you take it into consideration. This will basically give you the momentum of either you continue the meek, quiet self and feeling intimidated not to be yourself, because out of fear of feeling as if you are going to do something wrong to drive him away. You need to stop feeling that. You need to not hold back at what you are as a person or who you are as a person, because you need to show your true colors, because if you show your true colors, then he will see that you are being yourself, And if he's not compatible with your true self, then he just needs to walk away and close the door behind him, because in the next 2 to 3 months, you're going to find a new potential suitor that is going to be up your alley, that is going to be 10 times more interested in you than what he is. Because, as I said before, he is shifty. He's very shifty. He's like one of them shifty-eyed, little beady-eyed rats, if you ask me. Okay, and I try to put it to you as very, very pleasant as I possibly could, because he's hot one minute, or he's warm one minute, and I'm not going to say he's hot, because he's just not that he's not in a warm sense of self. He's warm one minute and then ice cold the next, and warm one minute and then ice cold the next. So it just very much, and it very well could be the wrong Frank that you are coming into, as in, if you were told that a person named Frank is your soulmate or twin flame, then he is the wrong Frank. Okay, you need to find Mr. Right Frank instead of Mr. Wrong Frank. Okay, because I think that is where you're coming at, is that you've been told Frank is your twin flame, and I think that you got the wrong Frank on your hands at the moment. Okay, so I would tell you, sweetheart, you probably more than likely have the wrong Frank. Okay?
So sad. I don't know what his problem is. And in the beginning, he approached me. In the first place, this all started out with him approaching me.
And that is perfectly fine, sweetheart. You have to understand, when men can be pigs, okay? And I can definitely tell you, men can be pigs. And when they're pigs, you need to understand that they approach one thing because they're thinking with a different head than what you think they're thinking with. Okay, but I will tell you, if you would like more information about this and a more in-depth scenario about this, get you a reading. Go to www.amagicaljourney.com, and we can figure this out and give you a more appropriate understanding of who Frank, or who the right Frank is. Okay?
Okay.
All right, dear. Thank you so much. All right, sweetheart. Okay, folks, so we are coming up into the last couple minutes of the Magical Journey show. And do understand that we as readers and intuitives and healers, we get here and we serve each and every one of you in the most honest and best way possible, okay? And do know that there is times when we even have our bad days, okay? So you have to understand that I don't care who psychic you are or how psychic you are, each psychic has the bad days. And there are times when some psychics say that they are 100% accurate. No, no psychic can be 100% accurate. Some psychics claim that they are 100% accurate. No, I myself will admit I am not 100% accurate. I have certifications showing that I am at least a 95 to a 98 percentile accuracy level, and I actually have papers to prove that. So just like a insane person has the papers to prove that they are insane. So understand that this information that we give you, we try to give you this in the best way possible, and in accordance with your higher self and our higher self at the same time. Okay, so do know that if one person sees one thing and another psychic sees another, and you need to put two and two together. Okay, so I want you to understand that we as psychics, we are trying to give you the best possible prediction, and in line with our higher self and in line with your higher self as well. And I'm sorry, people, we are out of time. I want to thank each and every one of you for calling in and asking your question. I would like to thank Tiffany White Sage Woman for producing the Magical Journey show. I would like to thank Goldylocks Productions for producing the Magical Journey show. And I would like to thank all the clients and all the callers and all the viewers. Thank you so very much. Much love to you all. If you're looking for a more in-depth reading, you can go to www.amagicaljourney.com, or you can call the office at 586-659-9620. And thank you, everyone. Let angel wings guide your dreams. Blessed be, and namaste. Good night.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.